known as the activator, the chief activator, mama activator, but it went to chief activator, right? And why a chief? Because we're running a village. We're going back to that village mentality of being able to provide for one another. My thing is not to bring that celebrities. My thing is to help my people and my women become celebrities within their own right and within their own communities, taking their message, expanding it to the world, turning them into a brand that not only is marketable but is useful, and that they fulfill their divine calling every single day. And so many in business terms, what I do is branding and marketing. My specialty is with branding and marketing, helping you get out to the media. Some call me like the millionaire media coach or something like that. But it's so many names going on, but I'm Lucinda Cross. Remember we talked about that? Your name is great. I'm Lucinda Cross the Great. And we have Chantel Holly the Great. We have, who else here is the great? Who else here is the great? Y'all remember the Periscopes? Now, if y'all loyal followers, you know what that's about, what we did on Facebook. Who's here the great? Your name and the great goes after it. Lucinda Cross the Great. Why? Because we are great. We come from great stock, great blood. Regina Poole is the great. Lady Chris the Great. Yes, Chris the Great. That's right. Yes, the great. Regina the Great. Okay, now. Jada the Great. Yes, let's keep it going. Aurora Wilson the Great. Ashley Love the Great. Yes, this is Kayla the Great. Cecilia Rashad the Great. Galicia the Great. Don't that feel good? Like, don't call me nothing less than what I fought for in my name. We fought for these names. So let's get to the topic. Avoiding the Medusas and making sure you don't have the Medusa effect. Now, I had to write some notes on this because we all know that that's a myth. It's a story. The whole Medusa story is a myth. But I want us to bring that to today's time and who we are as women and how we stand. Hashtag Black Girl Magic, right? And so when we look at avoiding the Medusas and making sure you don't have the Medusa effect, is this grown women and grown men here tonight? Okay. So here's the thing. The Medusa, she turns things to stone. You can't even look at her because she turns things to stone. It's not as if she has this effect where she walks and the ground that she walks on, she can claim and it's hers, right? It's not as if she has this Amazon woman. That's what I say the activators are. We're Amazon women. We know how to hold the baby, climb the tree, and all of that, make it happen. But she's not the Amazon woman. She's the Medusa's the woman who is half woman and half snake. Ouch. Half woman and half snake. This is the myth story, right? But I'm going to bring it to how it relates today. I want you to see how this is happening so that you can recognize if you have to deal and get rid of some of the snakes that are coming from your head, or if you're in a situation where you're connected to a Medusa, or based on the results that you see in your life, you may have the Medusa effect, or somebody you know may have the Medusa effect. No, regardless of what they do, it just seems like it just never works out and it turns to stone. Now, this is a good thing. Hold up. Don't get sad, because you may feel like you fall into that category. But or you know somebody who falls into this category. What this means is that you have to check your heart. So Medusa had a heart of stone, and therefore everything that she looked at and touched turned to stone. So some people have this effect that they can have this go. They have it right in front of them. They can seize the opportunity that's in front of them. But because of the Medusa effect, because their heart is turned to stone, when they go to touch it, it also turns to stone and it crumbles. Now, I want you to be honest with yourself, because some of us have been there to where we had this Medusa effect. Hashtag Medusa. No more Medusa effect. Everything we touch turns to gold. Can we agree on that tonight? If there's someone here who's watching who may have the Medusa effect, or may need to avoid the Medusas, can we touch and agree that we are going to do, number one, a heart check, And also everything from this day forward, we're going to make sure that it turns to gold because we're going to get our heart right. Now, is it true that the story of Medusa, she was the victim that became the accused? Now, I want you to look at situations and people. I'm not going to say this is y'all. This is not you. This is for men and women, because for the men too. Men too could have the Medusa effect. Medusa was a beautiful woman. Medusa was someone that was looked at upon as beautiful, as strong. She was pure. She was preparing herself, right, for her kingdom, her queendom. But something bad happened to Medusa. Something that she didn't expect, and it snatched and stole away her purity from her. And therefore, her heart turned cold. She ran away from her position because of what had happened to her. And then therefore, she grew a heart of hate. So it's not that Medusa just was born with all of these snakes and she was half woman and half snake. It was the things that happened to her, the things that people took from her, how people treated her, that turned her heart to stone. Am I talking to somebody today? Where you are dealing with so much stuff that has happened to you from the past. Someone has taken your pure heart, snatched it out, ate it. Come on. They ate it, took your purity, took the thing that you were preparing for, snatched it from you, and used it because they wanted to, just because they could at that time. It may happen to you at 5 years old. Could have happened to you at 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50. Could have happened to you, but took it from you, snatched. This is business related. This is career related. This is life this is for life. This is for your business. Apply this to your finances. This goes to all areas of what makes you who you are. But I want you to get rid of this Medusa effect. If you feel that, Lucinda, I get there, but whatever, it just seems like when I touch it, now it breaks and it crumbles. It seems like when I think about it and I get close to it, it falls to pieces. It seems like every time I start a relationship, it gets crazy. And now I become the victim. And also, I'm the accused person in the situation. I'm the bad guy or the bad girl here when I came with a pure heart and I was preparing myself for this opportunity. No Medusa. Hashtag no Medusas allowed. So here's what we have to do, because we're going from stone to gold tonight. We're going to go from stone to gold, because there will be a moment where, at a time where you either recognize it in other people or you've dealt with it yourself. I went through a season of touching stone. I went through a season of feeling as if I had the right heart. But when I go to pursue it, it would crumble right just like this. It would crumble every time I seen a full bag of opportunity and I go to touch it. It's like it's nothing there left for me. And it's nothing but crumbs. So here's the thing. When you're dealing with that, because something has happened in the past, we got to go to the past so that we're not touching and turning things to stone without realizing it. And maybe even we want to do that because we were hurt or because some people were hurt. So some people want to touch what you have. They're waiting for you to look at them so that you can turn to stone and you can crumble. Is that making sense? So some people are waiting for you to look at them. So here's situations where you may have someone who had a pure heart, was great at what they did. They were on assignment, in alignment, and something bad has happened to them. And now their heart is turned to stone, meaning it's a cold heart. And now they rather operate, instead of walking, they rather slither, because now they're hurt and they're scorned. And because they're hurt and they're scorned, they want to live around that. But even if they don't want to live around that, they've built such a wall around themselves of stone that's all that they can see. Now that becomes familiar to them. So anything that looks like prosperity, growth, progress, it now begins to, they want to turn it to stone, and they can't even help it because it turns to stone. right? And so what we need to do is to avoid the Medusas in life, those who are half woman, half man, half snake. Those that you know you should not even look at. There's some people, situations, things, habits. This is where competition and jealousy and envy is formed, where you're looking at the wrong thing. If you're looking at the wrong thing and what do you expect is going to happen to the baby that you're birthing right here? If you're looking at the wrong thing, you may turn what you're holding and carrying into stone. So what we need to do is, what happens with Medusa, yes, we have sympathy because something has happened into her past, but now she is so off and morphed into this destroyer, right? Some of us go into being this beautiful destroyer. You ever met a beautiful destroyer? Flawless, beautiful, gorgeous. You want them a part of your circle. They're smart. They're making money. They have all the gifts and talents that you're just like, oh, she is amazing. He is awesome. Drop dead, right? This is just what I've been needing in my life. But now realizing that they have these things that just want to break you down. Okay, avoiding the Medusas. Avoiding the Medusas mean that you have to, number one, as much as we sympathize with the story, cut off the neck. You got to be so sharp spiritually, mentally, physically, tapped in, tuned in, so that with your eyes closed, you can't cut off Medusa at the neck with your eyes open. It's not going to happen because you're going to die in the process. And so what is going to happen is you're going to have to close your eyes. Use your senses that God has given you. In other words, use your sense of discernment. So we're saying use your senses. In the movie Clash of the Titans, he had to use his senses to know where she was at, the smell and the stench, which direction she was in, where was the wind blowing, so that he can cut her off at the neck with his eyes closed so that he can live. So let's go into the spiritual sense. If we use our sense of discernment, and we close our eyes, because some challenges and obstacles you're not going to see. Some Medusas you're not going to see because they just look just that good. But if you look at them, now you're turned to stone. Now you don't even see what you really need to see. All you see is what's in front of you. Right? Some of us don't even know that we're turning things into stone. Some of us don't even know that we have turned things into stone. We're a part of someone's stone image. Let's get out of it. Check your heart. Understand that what you've been through, what you've gone through, don't allow that to change your heart, because now you're going to touch other things that are pure, innocent, and progressive, and you may crumble and crush them without even knowing it. Why it's not working is because something in here is not working. Why it's not working is because you need to do a heart check. You need to say, what is it that I did? What is it that I didn't forgive? What is it that I didn't do? What is it that I need to do? Because I don't want the Medusa effect no more. I've seen enough things crumble in my life, in my business, in my relationship, in my health. I want to be able to touch and things grow. I want to be able to speak and things come to life. I want to be able to see and things raise up. I don't want to be able to touch something on sight of somebody looking at me, they turn to stone. I don't want when you look at me, now you immediately become envious, jealous, competitive. I want you to say, oh, I welcome her. I want to be connected to her. I see God in her. It's the God in her that I'm connected to. Not what God is doing for her, but it's the God in her. So here's the thing. Half woman, half man, half serpent. Turning to stone in one glance. You know how powerful that is? So if Medusa's powerful enough to turn things into stone at one glance, come on now. So the other side, hair full of snakes. The hair, our crown, man and woman, our crown is the most important thing that we have. Do you know what a hair full of snakes? Everything that's coming out. You may be saying one thing, but there's the snake of jealousy, the snake of lack, the snake of limitations, the snake of copycat, the snake of duplication, the snake of you get on my nerves, the snake of I'm not forgiving you because what you did to me when I was a child, when I was pure. Those things are hanging out and they are hindering and biting the wrong things. So it stops, it doesn't even allow you to love yourself or love your passion. The Medusa effect. In order to kill her, you have to do it with closed eyes. In order to kill that thing, you have to do it with closed eyes. That comes with prayer. Closed eyes comes with prayer. Closed eyes shuts down the world of what you see, what you think you see, what you think you don't see, what you perceive, what's projected. You close your eyes. You have no choice but to look within yourself and figure out what needs to be cut off at the head. Some things, we got to cut things off at the head. Are you clear? Cut them off at the head. There's no passes in this season. This is slay season. There's no passes. Cut them off at the head. It's enough with you being mediocre. It's enough with you living below your means. It's enough with making do. It's enough with just staying where you're at. It's just enough. It's enough. It's enough. These kids got this song. It's called "I'm Millie Rock on Any Block." That means that they feel, these kids feel confident about themselves, saying wherever I go, I'm going to prosper. And they doing this dumb little retarded dance that we do. I'm doing it with my kids. "I'm Millie Rock on Any Block." But what the kids is saying is that, listen, wherever I go, I'm going to prosper. And it may not, it's secular. It's rap. It may not make sense to most adults, but I'm listening like, look how confident they are. "I'm Millie Rock on Any." He's saying wherever I go, I'm going to prosper. Now, we're not going to say how he's going to prosper, but let's take this back to the Medusa effect and stay on point. Understanding that where you walk, the grounds you're going to walk on moving forward. Number one, you're going to do a heart check today. Hey, who said hey? We're going to do a heart check today. We're going to get right tonight. And we're going to just, listen, we're cutting Medusa off at the neck. Cutting her off. Cutting her off at the neck. Because that Medusa, for some, may be your evil twin. Your evil twin may be coming after you. You ever had that? So it may be somebody who admires you but hates you at the same time. So I have somebody like that. So even within my circle of sisters, the vision board situation, I had somebody drop some little seeds inside the room before I got there. I said, this is funny. But one of my volunteers caught it. Praying woman. She said, I don't know what this is. Or what this is. This is weird. Why would they put this in your room? She said, I guess it's trash. Cut them off at the neck. We don't even open it up. We don't even want to read it. Some things you just got cut it off. But for you, Medusa was beautiful. Remember that. There was a time when she was beautiful. But something bad happened to her. She was taken advantage of. How many of us have been taken advantage of? How many of us were the victim, but some kind of way became the accused? Hello, somebody. She went from being a beauty to a beast. You know what that's like? We all grow up becoming this beauty, and then some of us just become this beast. It's like, where did you get this nasty hidden attitude from? Where did you get this nastiness about you from? Where did this come from? When we live in a world, like when did this become a part of who you are and your makeup? But you say that you want to coach lives? You're a life coach? You say that you are a public speaker? Cut Medusa off at the neck. We're not playing with her. We're not playing with her. We're not allowing her to get in here. All we're doing, you carry a sword. Where's my sword? Kayla, bring me my sword. My neon green sword. My neon light sword. You got to get that sword. Where's your swords, ladies? Where's my Amazon women and men? Where's the Amazons at? That's what this is about. Where's the Amazons at? Because the Amazons don't even go through that. The Amazon women and the men are the ones who's going to make it happen. But here's the thing. Check our hearts. Because when you check your heart, you'll be able to see where you stand at. Check your life. See how many things have been turned to stone. How many things that you touched and it just crumbled? Yeah, God opens doors. What's for you is for you. But if your hands are if your hands are cold, if your heart is cold, whatever you touch is cold. And I'm not talking about cold in the nice way, in the Chi-Town way. I'm talking cold and there's no life. There's nothing forming. So we got to put the pulse back. Remember that you can still get your purity back, even though you felt that it was taken. You can still get your purity back, even though somebody took advantage. You can still get your purity back, even though somebody really just took your business and ran with it. You can get your purity back and do this thing all over again. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So is this? Let me show you my sword. Don't laugh at me now. Turn off the light. Turn off the light. So here's the thing. Here's the sword. Just like that. You got to go down in it. Even if you got to gut yourself out. I'm not talking about a real sword now. This is a circus sword. Don't start saying Lucinda told me to cut myself out and gut myself up. But I'm talking about taking it in the dark, eyes closed. I know that this is some hateration around. I know it don't belong here. I know these women don't belong here. I know that this doesn't belong. This man don't belong here. The situation, the poverty. Cut it off. Chop. Give Medusa the neck. Give her... Listen, boo, I'm sorry what you went through. Turn on the lights, Lid. I'm sorry what you went through, but that wasn't me. Same thing with the man. I'm sorry what you went through, but that wasn't me. I don't have time for that. I'm sorry. I apologize for all the abuse you had to go through, but my purity was taken as well. Cut it off at the neck. We don't have time to play. Look at me with my trying to tell a serious message with a neon sword. But you get the point. It's slave season. We're not playing. We're not playing this season. We're not. It's too much. How you turn this thing off? It's too much for us to get. It really is. It really is. It's really too much. The season is ripe for the picking. It's ripe. All right, we're slaying. Medusa's over. Avoid the Medusas. Those half women, half snakes. Avoid the Medusas. Those half men, half snakes. Avoid making sure that you don't have the Medusa affect yourself, that you are not the one who's turning things into stone, right? And it's because that's dangerous. You dealing with a Medusa, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. Yes. So if you're not here to heart, yes, if you're not, heart checks are important. Avoid Medusa. Avoid her. The Medusa effect is when she's coming after. The Medusa effect is when you start to turn things into stone. The Medusa effect is when you don't see growth. The Medusa effect is when you may have encountered a Medusa at your job, in your business, in your relationship, and there's no growth. The Medusa effect is, I once was a beauty and now I'm turned to a beast because I allowed my circumstances and my situation to take over. So that Medusa effect now doesn't allow other things to come in to her garden because she is so cold and full of stone that she just turns everything that she comes in contact with to stone. And so if it's a Medusa situation that you're dealing with, cut it off right at the neck. So I hope that clarified it for everybody here on the scope. Are you feeling good? Was this a good scope? Was this a good scope, Scope Stars? Did you learn tonight? Did you learn tonight? And that's what we talked about. What if others cause the Medusa effect? That's the ones you got to cut off. If others are causing the Medusa effect, you got to cut them off. Some people are half snakes and half humans. You got to cut them off. Cut them off. At the neck. Don't look at them. You look at them, you may see sympathy. You look at them, you may be the one turned to stone. If it's your life and your dreams and your vision against theirs, who goes first? In the battle, you're there to fight what's yours. You're there to fight for your legacy. The Medusa is there just to turn whatever comes in her area, whether they love her or not. She's not willing to understand because she's been hurt. She just wants to... You just turn into stone. I don't understand you. I don't like you. I just want to kill it off. No life. Suck it out. She don't even want the life that you have. Yes. So here's the thing. Yes, somebody said something about Jesus. That's the answer to it all. Hands down. But we use this myth story as an example of how some women, and how, mainly for women who are on the scope, and I hope you men were able to enjoy it as well, but how some women have allowed, certain situations have happened to them in the past, and they've allowed their hearts some kind of way turn cold. We want you to warm back up and embrace life again. We want you to cut those things that seem dead to those things that are dead. Leave them where they are. Don't go. Sometimes you could just avoid the whole Medusa altogether. If you see that the land is just full of stone, you don't even got to go through there. Why even go through it? But if you're dealing with the Medusa, or if you may have the Medusa affect yourself, where you're just wondering why your life still seems to be in this stone age, then it's time for you to check your heart. It's time for you to do some adjustments. And it's time for you to pick up and say, what did I do? What was done to me? And how do I need to begin to forgive myself? So let's see some of the comments. What's going on here? What's going on here? Yeah, refuse the energy. Refuse it. What's going on here? Awesome, Blue Soul, thanks. Elsie, thank you so much, Tyree. Okay. Awesome. Should you apologize? Absolutely. If it's on you. Sometimes even if it's on them, apologize. Yeah, sometimes even so I'm not sure what the conversation is going on here in the chat room, but y'all seem like y'all getting pretty deep and helping each other. That's what this is about. 188,000 hearts. We are popping. What if it's a teacher saying you can't succeed? We don't listen to what other people say about our lives. Not at all. If we listen to what other people said about us, we would be in a world of trouble. Yes. How can I keep my focus when it seems like I'm losing even as I try? It's all about the consistency. Some things you have to stay consistent with. Now, I'm going to go back to the movie. I know it's just a myth and I know it's just a movie, but it's so relevant to this topic. The consistency of going after Medusa was endless until he was able to do it. Was he hurt in the process? Yes, but his consistency was, I'm not going to give up until I do and finish the job. And so even if you feel like it's not working, then either see if you are consistent enough in it, and don't give up before it's about to just come to fruition. Don't give up before you're at that point where you can cut off what doesn't belong, what's not working, and what does work. So yes, be relentless. Sometimes you have to be relentless, and sometimes you just have to say, right, Clash of the Titans. Go watch the Clash of the Titans tonight. Go on YouTube, watch the Clash of the Titans. Don't give up. Don't give up. And sometimes we are going after some things that we're not supposed to go after. And sometimes it is meant for you to not even throw in the towel, but to say, this is not the season for this. Right? So you have to be clear on, let me see something. You have to be clear on what you're doing. You have to be clear on what you're giving your time and your energy to. So my site is not hacked. It's up and running. LucindaCross.com. I don't know what Google is saying about it. It's saying that something's wrong with it, but someone mentioned the site is hacked. The site is fine. Go to LucindaCross.com if you want to sign up, join it, be a part of it. It's up. It's live. It's good. It's going. Go straight to LucindaCross.com. Yes, it's sleigh season. So remember, that the most important piece out of tonight is avoiding the Medusas, and also making sure you don't have the Medusa effect. So I thank you so much. And join me on my site, LucindaCross.com. Sign up for my newsletter. Hope to see you all in December at the Vision Board Party. LucindaCross.com/Vision Board Party NYC. That'll be December 5th. And I'll see you on the next scope. I see you on the